Hi, everybody. This is 1,207 days. 1,207 days. I think it's more, though, since Richard was code reded murdered there on Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. We absolutely know that, that there is a lot wrong on Fort Bliss, which shows you that for us uh, to presume that Richard was code red murdered. And it's not our words, that was Leilani Hart. Leilani Hart is the mother of First Lieutenant Dallas Hart, former First Lieutenant Dallas Hart, Richard's platoon leader. And he was messing with computers. Um, we have a witness that puts Dallas as messing with computers. Um, And yeah, so we know that there was a weapons problem. We know that there's accusations of weapons smuggling. Um, of course, uh, then the ammunition smuggling and equipment smuggling. And of course, Leilani Hart and her uh, criminal complaint affidavit. I don't talk about it enough. It seems like I talk about it a lot, but I don't talk about it enough because it's so serious in this, because you put it in as a notarized complaint to the CID, to her boyfriend, Special Agent Tavita Nusa in the Fort Bliss CID on the 22nd of July 2020, which claims um, and she's the one that claims that Richard was code-reded. Um, but her criminal complaint affidavit confession, because it really implicates her too, um, claims that her family, multiple members of her family, sexually assaulted her friend's 7-year-old son in Leilani's master bedroom, and that there's child porn, that there is a long history there of incest in her family, and that her husband is a child predator and also buying weapons illegally, also threatening her life. We have information that she's threatening his life. I mean, it's just really, uh, and she turns out to be a convicted uh, criminal for lying to law enforcement authorities, and has a long history of harassment and also disturbances, and in her family, of course, disturbances. And I'm missing some things. I know I am, because I'm just speaking. I'm not speaking from notes. I'm not speaking from a review I did or anything like that. I'm just speaking from memory. And so I know that there are things that I'm missing. The point is that these are serious felony crimes and somebody needs to be arrested. These are serious felony crimes when you assault people, because of course she assaulted on Fort Bliss. Um, when you assault people, when you harass people, when you follow people around, when you lie to authorities and do setups and all of this. Okay, so um, is she right about her husband being a predator, about being incestuous with his sons, um, about this friend's son, 7 years old, being sexually assaulted in Leilani's master bedroom? Is she right about all that? Well, the FBI accepted that CID case. Okay, they thought it had enough merit that they accepted that case. Now, does she lie? Yes, she lies to law, but she got arrested for it, right? She got arrested for it and she was convicted. She was convicted of lying to law enforcement authorities. She was convicted. She even broke restraining orders. Um, So, there's just chaos wherever this Hart family goes. And they're just, up to no good, as I would always say. And you're supposed to make the world a better place than you found it, right, in your little area. But they're up to no good. And Dallas Hart then ends up being Richard's platoon leader. And it seems like we've been told that he has also some history there, some history in New Mexico. And we're just wondering, how did he go green to gold? How did the American taxpayer pay for his green to gold and his commissioning? How did he get commissioned in the military with what we're told is his record? And not just this is mentally and criminal. So that needs to be explained. That needs um, and I we don't even know, we can't even find it, that he even graduated from New Mexico State University. The Aggies, we don't know. We know he played for them. And this is very, very important in our son's case because the CID and the Army has not let us get to know the platoon leaders in Richard's case, and the command, the captains, and the Lieutenant Colonel Roddick. We never got to meet him and ask him questions. And what about Major General Clem Coward? We weren't, he never got in touch with us. And Richard was code red murdered under his retaliation. I mean, under his retaliation, constant and severe retaliation by him, and by Lieutenant Colonel Michael Roddick, and I'm sure the bullying and everything like that was supported by others, but Richard was code red murdered under Major General Clem Coward, and we haven't ever talked to him. We have never talked to him. He was never brought forth to answer our questions, and I just want to know, what are our rights as a family to go after and arrest these people? You know, what is our rights to go and arrest these people? Because Lonnie Hart needs to be arrested for her actions with Angela Kachurga. Angela Kachurga needs to be arrested for obstructing justice in this case. And when you hear about this case, you'll really know that what I'm saying is not outlandish. It's not insane. It's called justice. It's called justice in our country. And this is an active duty, the Vanessa Guillen First Absent Soldier, right? So I would like to know what our rights are as a family to have these people arrested. And thank God it's in Texas, because we have a better chance of it being tough on them, because we absolutely feel like it needs to be really tough. Let me go on Facebook. I've been having a very hard time with Facebook. It seems that we are being hacked, and I don't even know if I can get on Facebook. So it's going to be a challenge to see if I'm on and to answer questions. So I'll try to get on, but it's a big question for us to wonder. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day, a happy Armistice Day, to remember those who have served, who have fought, even if you felt like the war was unjust, which I feel like all these wars are unjust. But these, and I know my dad, after 9/11, he went and volunteered. Here he is, an older soldier, and he went and volunteered, and he went to Iraq. You can look that up. He went to Iraq, my dad did, Um, and of course, my husband went there too, and they would meet. Um, they would meet there to have a meal together in Iraq during the whole war in Iraq. Um, and my dad traveled all over. He was a contract. He got a contract to um, well organize all of the translators, and it was he met a lot of awesome people. Let's see if I can get on. It's just been really, really, really tough. Um, so if we are censored, we're going to find a way, okay? We'll find a way. Remember when during COVID they censored me for 30 days on Facebook and I just put the shield on and the shield allowed me to do the live stream. So, um, let's see. It looks like I'm getting on. Okay, it looks like I'm on. Haha. Okay, it does not look like I'm live though. Oh, I am live. Okay. All right. I am on. Oh, hallelujah. Okay, so I can see your questions. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anicia. Thank you, Danielle. Um, Thank you. Yes, it is. It's been so crazy. The hacking on Facebook today. And it's not just my phone, because it was happening on my computer also. And so I'll see. Maybe it is me. Maybe it is a technical problem, right? But it is uh, curious that last night when I got on here, and I was really upset yesterday, and I'm still very upset. I always, you can tell when I get upset, really upset, I always get a cold sore. Um, but and upset meaning you just want to cry all the time thinking about the implications of all the information that we find out. I mean, we absolutely know, not because of me, but because of the leadership, because of the law enforcement agents telling us that there is a weapons problem on Fort Bliss. There is, and there still is a weapons problem on Fort Bliss. And then we find out that there's a weapons smuggling problems on Fort Bliss. And there is a paperwork, like an embezzlement, cooking the books problem, right? They try to cook the books and they try to, and we know this from HRC, put the right people in the right spot so that these crimes can be gotten away with, that they can absolutely organize this criminal enterprise so that they can get away with it, and they can even have a defense attorney, they can even have law enforcement back them up and even do dirty work for them. And we saw the dirty work with the DUI, DWI setup that they did for Richard. And, I want to ask Jesus Melendez, I want to ask him, does he know the Rocha family? It seems to me that he knows the Rocha family. And why would he do what he did? I mean, clearly, clearly, Alma Trejo, the judge, saw through all of this and issued an agreement for dismissal on July 7th that Richard signed, that went into effect on July 9th, 2020. So, and there is um, another signature of an accuser, right? And we think we know who this is, and it is really shocking who we think this is. I'm not at liberty to say right now, but I will say this. I'm very happy that Texas is very, very strict. And, just this last week, and I never thought I would say this in my life, but I do right now. I do, with everything we've been through. They just had their second in a week, I believe, death row inmate put to death. Um, I think that these crimes that have been committed, and I posted them on Facebook today, and that's just a little out, just a few of them. The crimes that have been committed, capital crimes that have been committed in our son's case are so many, so many. And it's because this criminal syndicate was allowed to grow. No oversight. Where is Veronica Escobar in all of this? Is she part of them? That's my question, because is she afraid of them? Is she part of them? What's going on with Veronica Escobar? We know that Ted Cruz asked very, very good questions, a senator that has oversight over Fort Bliss, and he asked some very, very good questions, um, putting himself in the fray of this case, and he got shot down by Christine Wormuth, the Secretary of the Army, who is like 23 ranks lower than him, and yet she is emboldened. Something is going on that she can take down a senator. She took him down. I mean, it was very clear that she did. And so she made a sitting elected senator powerless in the case of the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier. I mean, it was really a disgusting scene to behold. And I don't know, I would love to hear his story on that side of it. Um, and it's looking clear why, uh, this story was given so much money to put forth a change in narrative, or to harass witnesses, or to harass anybody that wanted to help. At the beginning, the harassment was terrible. And, just to change, put the smear campaign in, to monitor us, to even send in their people to, do some spying, and, do that kind of dirty work. I mean, these leaders in El Paso, in this case at Fort Bliss, they're dirty. Dirty agent Soto was assigned. And then even in Washington, D.C., we get dirty agent Jessica Veltri, who is clearly dirty, right? Clearly, because she has not been to the crime scenes, because she has not even interviewed the key witness in the case. Um, you know, uh, and she's also denying us next to kin information, right? She's denying us that right. It is a right in this country. So make sure yeah, everything's working. So yes, this is a dirty agent. But then we have General McConville, General Mealy, Lieutenant General Donna Martin, Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe, Brigadier General David Martin, Major General Clem Coward, Major General White, of course, General Garrett. I hope I'm not forgetting any of them, but they're dirty. They're so dirty. What are they profiting on? We know that the CIA has been caught now running a drug cartel, right? Drug syndicate, making money off on the side by selling illegal drugs. That came up right now, and because they wanted more funding, they wanted more money in their coffers, so the organization itself was funding itself with illegal activity. Well, that when that came up, that made a lot of sense, because we in Fort Bliss we have 85,000, 85,000, 85,000. I can't repeat that enough. That is a huge number of unaccounted for minors. Now, these minors are mostly, not all, there are some young ones in this, but mostly they're teenagers. So you're talking about 12, 13, 14, all the way to 18. They're at their height, going into adulthood. Um, so much energy, so much health. They are missing. They are unaccounted for. Where are they? And, so here we have just that, sorry, just that we have so many minors being brought through that intake center that we would have 85,000 unaccounted for minors is shocking in itself, right? That is shocking that we would have that many. And where are they going? What are they doing? Even the ones we know of, where are they? What are they doing? Right? Who's taking care of them? And we know that that caused a lot of problems in the surrounding area and on Fort Bliss because of the lack of childcare services. So, but that was headed by the admirals, but also by Ann Ogle, who was in business, probably still is in business, with Thomas Kane, the director of emergency services. And Ann Ogle is the administrator for child and youth services. So her job was that intake center, those 85,000. But she's also affiliated with Falcon Aerostar. Um, I believe that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, which is some kind of high altitude balloon company. But it seems that uh, there is an investment um, in aircraft. Okay, in aircraft there is an investment. There is paying attention, and I'm going to put this all together because we know that Thomas Kane, the DES, the Director of Emergency Services, the man that was in charge, the chief of security of Fort Bliss, was up to no good. And before he left, he made it very clear, and we got a letter after he left, that they were operating outside of the law, that he compared Richard's case to Vanessa Guillen's case, which was really scary, terrible thing, and you know, um, admitted that there is a command structure problem on Fort Bliss, right? That the JAG was working outside of the law. So that's also a huge problem. So not only do you have the embezzlement and the weapons trafficking and the weapons problem with all these unregistered weapons flush in the barracks, and then you have the barracks being a place where it's a marketplace for illegal drugs and alcohol abuse, and then you have failed um, PTSD programs, failed suicide programs, failed sexual harassment programs, failed sexual assault programs, um, and then you have weapons smuggling, right? And then you're bringing in, then you think it's okay for the DES to sign passes to bring in those party girls and pass around the uh, whatever they're bringing in, because there is an STD problem on Fort Bliss. So there's an STD problem on Fort Bliss. They're bringing in girls during the COVID lockdown, and so they're not. They're admitting right then and there that they absolutely knew that this was a sham and a fraud, this destruction of our economy, this crime against humanity, that the COVID mandates were. And but they were bringing in the girls, the party girls, and these are our soldiers that have their hands on weapons. These are our soldiers that drive our tanks. These are our soldiers that have to go to war um, in these remote places to fight. And, it's shocking that there's so much damage there, that absolutely it hinders readiness. And I'm just thinking, was this the plan all along? Are our leaders so treasonous that they would sell out our whole military, our volunteer sons and daughters? And then yesterday, what really shook me up, because they're letting Leilani Hart uh, uh, mess with them, right? They're letting Leilani Hart attack them. And what do I mean by attacking them? I mean, for years, she has had these sexual cult things. She has done harassment things. She has, uh, uh, disturbed the peace. She has been arrested for lying to authorities because what she does is she tries to get other people in trouble, right? She tries to get other people in trouble. Just starts uh, creating chaos. And with that chaos is destruction of esprit de corps. And if there's a destruction of esprit de corps in the military, it weakens the military. And so I'm thinking, why are they letting her do that? I mean, I think that they have tried to intimidate us and get me to stop asking where my son is, but I have an absolute legitimate reason for saying, where is my son? And repeating what the generals and the law enforcement authorities have told us, right? I'm just repeating what they have told us. And, like, oh, the FBI man, he's just nobody. He's just nobody, and then I'm talking to him on the phone and he's saying, no, he's the father-in-law of Lieutenant Colonel Bugado of the G3 of the 32nd ADCOM. He's somebody. And he's with the FBI. He's somebody. And so, I have every right to point out the deception, deception, deception. They had every chance in the world to tell us the truth. We're at way over 3 years, and now we're finding out that we have to ask because, we have to ask publicly to Eddie Rocha and to Lydia Rocha. It seems that Lydia Rocha's family has this history in funeral preparation and mortuary affairs preparation, and Eddie followed in her footsteps. And, so I'm just telling you, Eddie and Lydia, what we are being told. What we are being told is that Lydia is a mortuary affairs liaison, family liaison, and that Eddie Rocha is a mortuary affairs technician. Now, add in connection to annexes that William Beaumont Army Medical Center bought, 3705 Bliss Avenue, 39 Bliss Avenue, and those addresses are connected with the historical family of Eddie Rocha and Lydia. Lydia, really mainly Eddie Rocha. So, Lydia's family. Yes, exactly. Sorry. Lydia's family, they're 3905 Bliss Avenue. And of course, because she's married to Eddie Rocha, then of course he's connected with that. And of course, those properties are connected to Tanya Katzen. Tanya Katzen is the mother of Danae Katzen. So absolutely, Belen Rocha and Danae Katzen are connected. And, I'm just saying what is obviously put forward to us, the truth, and they don't want you to hear the truth. They want you to hear lies and a narrative and, misinformation. And, I'm just trying to find out what happened to my son. And so I'm just trying to tell the truth as best as I can, because I will tell you this, we, have had so many infiltrators that some people have lied to us, and that has harmed the pursuit of justice. It has obstructed justice. There has been definitely many, many tries at obstructing justice in this case. And so, for anybody that absolutely knows that we were lied to on a certain topic and we had a reaction to, I want to apologize, and please contact us, leave a message, because we're really screening our calls right now. Also, um, because of the bullying and the threats. So, and this is really getting into some uh, very, very serious crimes. Because if William Beaumont Army Medical Center purchased 3905 Bliss Avenue and 3705 Bliss Avenue and turned them into annexes under the mortuary affairs, and is giving the uh, funeral homes like to have a lot of dead people, right? Because that's how they make money. I mean, I just have to tell it like it is. That's, they make their money off of having dead people. And so, to have wars, to have these wars, these unjust wars, is profitable for them. And I don't want, I'm just talking in the sense of trying to find the answers for our son's case. So I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I'm just trying to find out what happened to Richard. And with Eddie Roach's hat in the ring in the suspect game, and then to find out that, it's very, very possible that he was and is with mortuary affairs and out of these properties that we have been told by a separate entity are very, very important in the crime scene of Richard. That those two, that is very important. And of course it is important because of Tanya Katzen being there, right? It's very important. So, so I have to take a deep breath on that one, because these are crime scenes, y'all. These are crime scenes. These buildings. That is what we've been told. So, if they are then contracting out, if this is a hush, like under the table mortuary affairs, and they are doing hush deals with transports, meaning aircraft, are they going to rent out a Cessna 550? Are they going to rent out and make a deal with Cirrus Aircraft or Falcon Aerostar Aeronautics? Or yeah, I have to look that one up again. And are they making contracts for the taxpayers then would have to pay for those flights. And if these businesses are trying to get off the ground, they could really use someone else paying for their expenses, right? I'm just saying, this is from my train of thought in all of this. And if the mortuary affairs are up to no good, what are they transporting in these planes? And as you know, we have information that our son was transported in a plane, and all of these crumbs are fitting together, and it's horrifying to see the crumbs fitting together. So we really, really need answers, and we're working very hard behind the scenes to create all the paper trail, to get the answers. And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to start, putting down your papers, one at a time down on the ground. You have to send it out to all these people and create a paper trail in order to get the institutional support's attention. And then you have to get the population to be supporting you. So we ask for your support in this, because this is our country, and to have them sell body parts, to have them transport the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier without letting us know. If that's the case, those are all, me thinking out loud, presuming things. And, they might say, oh, you can't do that. I don't know. But, my goodness, where's our son? Where's our son? And what's going on with the mortuary affairs? Are they up to no good? And how are they handling these bodies? And, why is there so many so-called suicides? And why is there 85,000 unaccounted for minors missing? It's just uh, it's very shocking, and and I think it might get censored, uh, because what are the chances of Eddie Rocha having a family connection with 3905 Bliss Avenue, and then William Beaumont having a connection of the purchase of 3905 Bliss Avenue, and then it being the crime scene, one of the crime scene of Richard Halliday, and then Eddie Rocha is the father of one of the prime suspects, Belen Rocha. I mean, what are the chances of that? And it's just like this Jesus Melendez, who was this canine cop. Um, the connections are shocking, are absolutely shocking. And then we have the other one too. So, what were they going to do on July 9th, 2020, when Richard was exonerated after trying very, very hard to censor him, to bully him, to shut him up, right? What were they going to do? And they weren't going to apologize. And that's a shame that they had no esprit de corps, that they had no love for the country, um, for what's right and wrong, you know? So, okay, let me read some questions here. Oh, yeah. We have enough. We have enough for any jury to convict Dallas Hart. Um, Thank you, Kat. Patricia, have you heard anything from any of the Army of any updates or anything? Can you repost addresses to the Department of the Army that is to look into Richard's case and why nothing is being done? Well, there is a lot being done. I can tell you that because our letters have gone through and there is a lot being done. Now, how much of that um, will be brought through, because see, they say that these active duty soldier from Fort Bliss, his congressional inquiry is moving forward. They say that they are investigating Leilani Hart. They say they are investigating Marlon Soto. They say they are investigating all the others that we have put in there. And we're getting responses from all of that. So they're absolutely, they're ready to arrest some people. We've gotten that information, which is shocking for people to hear that maybe in Halliday's case, someone's going to get arrested finally, and we'll get some real answers from the authorities that have signatures, right? Because nobody wants to sign anything, and the answers that we're getting are, they're so afraid of their retaliation. They just want to be under the table. So, we've got this inner city, we've got help from inside Fort Bliss, and we have law enforcement help. So, things are happening. But it all depends on you, right? It all depends, and I hate to put that weight on you, but the public, everyone that's listening to these cases, not just Richard's, they're the ones that are the real movers and shakers. It's not the generals. It's not the senators. It's not the Republican House or the Democrat House. It's not any of them. It is the people. They are the movers and the shakers. They're the ones that can get it done and get it done fast. And so we thank you for your support on that. Um, Richard, okay, let's see. Richard Halliday seemed to have been taken down the deck of cards and uncovering evil that was occurring against children. They told the family they couldn't have another Vanessa Guillen. That's right. So there was, this could not be another Vanessa Guillen case. That was, the point of everything that they did. Um, when the videos on this shows that Richard was with his car at Mexico border, was his car found? That is not his car. Um, I believe that's Dallas Hart's car, the Pearl C-Class Mercedes. Okay? And so I've put that up and asked, hey, people of New Mexico, hey, people of El Paso that know this football player, this New Mexico State Aggie football player. They know his car. Who could corroborate that that Pearl C-Class Mercedes that is absolutely custom belongs to Dallas Hart? That is very, very important. So, so the big news is that um, the law enforcement are willing and waiting and wanting to arrest Leilani Hart. We're working on that. And we just want to know what it takes for us to have people arrested, because we absolutely want people arrested in this. Absolutely. Um, yeah, what are our rights against this very, very evil thing? With Eddie Rocha, I hope this is not true, Eddie. I hope it's not. Because the thought of Eddie Rocha handling our son's remains and then boxing them up and putting them on some kind of transport plane and not telling us, it's just horrifying. So, okay, everyone, thank you so much. We really, I can go on and talk um, about, well, and if you have any questions, absolutely, I want to give you a chance. But I can go on and talk and talk and talk about this case. It is has so many facets, but I want to really stress that this is capital felony charges, capital crimes, felony charges, and we need to get those arrests going for the capital punishments in Richard's case, and hopefully that will send a huge message out and secure and keep safe our soldiers when they're on their home installation. So that's really our goal here, is, well, glorify God in everything we do, and um, get the message out that you don't mess with our soldiers. You don't mess with them. And if they are reporting wrongdoings, you better respect them. You better respect them. And I know there are some that just want to tattle on everything. But you know what? We have leadership. We have leadership training. We give our leaders everything they possibly need and more, everything. And so we just need to give them the right training to deal with these young people and how they complain, and take what they're saying seriously and make the best of it, right? Because we need to have that free speech to report fraud, waste, and abuse. Otherwise, we just have the Gestapo, y'all. We just have the Dritte Reich all over again. And they need to be able to report the fraud, waste, and abuse. And, and we're willing to have that option for our soldiers. And in Richard's case, it really wasn't honored. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. And if I'm not on, I will I'm working on some other ways to get on. So look out for us. Just put in Find Richard Halliday, right? Find Richard Halliday, and it'll pop up. Thank you so much. God bless.